Hey, what is going on, brothers and sisters? Eric Rosen here, your internal strength coach, here to show you how to overcome your greatest challenges so you can shine your brightest light. It is Wednesday, February 6, 2019. Thanks for being here. I'm going to title today's video about momentum. I've talked about momentum before, but I'm going to dig just a little bit deeper, at least a different perspective on it. I've been reading a book called The Slight Edge. I believe Jeff Olson is his name, and quite a simple concept, but it's something that most people don't practice. In fact, he estimates only 5% of people practice this, and basically, it's just saying that the little decisions that we make every day that we think are so innocent can either work for or against us. If we're making little decisions constantly that are in alignment for us, over time it'll build up to success. But it can work the other way too, where we think these little decisions don't hurt us, and it has a compounding effect as well. So an example would be saving a few bucks from every paycheck will compound over time in the positive if you're trying to save money. A negative would be you're trying to diet, but yet you still cannot seem to stay away from your ice cream, and you think, oh, this won't hurt. I'm guilty of this, because we do live in a society of where we do want convenience. We do want instant gratification, and success is built from delayed gratification. So, speaking of momentum, like one thing I've been doing for these videos the past few days is actually an exercise called left hand writing, where because I'm right-handed, I'm actually using a different part of my brain when I write with the left hand. And so the words that I'll write on the page actually isn't something that I necessarily consciously intended to write. I just it's almost like subconsciously I'm writing something down on paper. And it's interesting, the first word that I wrote down was the word vector. And the vector is not something that has been used in my vocabulary since whatever level of math class that came from, because what a vector is actually an arrow that has a direction and magnitude. So examples of this would be momentum, energy, work, power. And then I wrote the word harness a couple of times. So it's really just saying, start building the momentum now in the direction that you want to go in. Get really clear on that direction, and because your emotions are going to change day to day. Your willpower is not always going to be there for you. If you just get really clear on where it is that you want to head, and you keep building this momentum, you keep going in the same direction with the same level of magnitude, eventually you're going to get there. But then also, you do want to enjoy the process as well. It's not just about the destination. But what I've been seeing in terms of the astrology is that this is a really crucial time. This is kind of like the last call on like the grand ship, that's heading out to sea, that's taking people to where they want to go. There's always going to be these metaphorical boats that take you where you want to go, but this is like the elite cruise liner, like the Titanic, but the one that doesn't hit an iceberg. It actually gets you to your awesome destination that's in line with your heart. And it's one of those things where you really need to this week start to look at, if you haven't already, like these little decisions that you make, and start to make aligned decisions now. I've been doing it more than ever. It doesn't matter if it's looking at grabbing a cup of coffee or hitting the snooze button, just all these little things that seem insignificant. I once had someone, I would observe a friend who she would do something, and it was kind of like there would be like a time crunch, and she would do it, and then, but she would have to do it like a certain way, and it's like, oh, well, it only took a minute, And at the time, my observation was, well, it's not just like a linear process of time. There's also like the intent, the energy, like behind it. Like, let's condense down, like look at this pattern of like condensing down like the task that it takes to actually like complete an action, as opposed to like doing it in like a perfect fashion. Maybe that was just my preference. But after like reading this book more, I can see where this would apply. Just a few minutes here, a few minutes there of doing something a certain way when maybe like it could have waited, or maybe it didn't have to be necessarily done in so much detail. And there's like a compounding effect to that on how that time is spent. But um, you know, tearing down old structures is another thing that I wanted to mention here, because when we talk about like making these changes, we're basically reprogramming the brain to make different decisions that are in alignment, as opposed to like taking the one that has the instant gratification. So it's really getting into the subconscious programming that is embedded in a lot of us. And because we're American, a lot of the times that is convenience, that is the quick feel good measure. So I think tearing down those old structures, and be willing to like face those things, facing how you deal with your money, your relationships, how you look at your health, your career, like all of these things. Looking at relationships as well. Well, I don't want to be alone could be a common example of someone who's in an unhealthy relationship. Health could be, I just don't have the time, I just don't have the energy. Oh yeah, I'll start the diet next week. Like all these patterns that are like common, or more money. Well, like you want to save money, but then you also don't want to give up like certain things that you spend your money on, like certain, like the quick fix, like the entertainment, going to the casino, going to the bars, like whatever it is. Tearing down like these old patterns, these old structures, these old ways of doing things by making new choices. And so and where you can really see this is like when, if you're watching this, or someone this gets brought to their attention, they say something to the effect of, well, I'm just like this is who I am, this is how I was taught. That like somebody who's really like attached to their belief structure, that's really attached to their way of doing things. The thing is like, look at, okay, this is your way of doing things, you believe this is who you are, but how is that serving you? Like, are you a success in terms of happiness? Are you success in terms of whatever measure that individual defines themselves as a level of success by, whether it is having healthy relationships, good health, good financial health, whatever it is. And breaking down that structure and being willing to re-identify, and that re-identification process, you can set the intent and say that I want to be a different way, because obviously this isn't working if the person's willing to acknowledge that. But the re-identification process is going to happen through the integration of actually making more aligned choices over time. I can't just, as much as I would like to like just wake up in the morning and be like, I'm fucking enlightened like Buddha, and I love everybody, and I will never curse at a person that tailgates me ever again. But what's actually going to happen is, yes, I will set the intention, but I'm going to have those instances where that intention is tested. I'm going to have to make the aligned decision. So I hope this helps you guys. I really want to see everybody, and again, like I'm putting this out there because like I'm right there too. I'm walking the walk, more so than ever, with showing like the new way I think to be on being willing to like let go of the shit, and becoming aware of like the shit that doesn't serve you, but that you're emotionally attached to and don't want to let go of, and you think that it's like keeping you like safe in some type of comfort, but really it's what you feel totally drawn to, like deep in your soul, that it's like where the real safety lies. That's the place that you need to go to, and you need to have the courage to do it. And the courage is okay, I'm letting go of the stuff that doesn't serve me. I'm letting go of the handrail, and just like walking without holding both sides, like the diving board, and then taking that leap of faith that deep down is going to feel awesome, and just maybe afraid to take it. So it can be scary. If you're like not sure what the hell any of this means, if you're not sure what how you could live life any differently, then I would say that that's okay. It's just it's a chance for you to start to peel back the layers and making those efforts to do so, because life is not meant to be lived in suffering. Like that's going to be a self-limiting belief if you believe that this is just how life is, or that you were victimized by something. Shit's not true. And that's a good place to start, is looking at that reality that you believe that you live in. So that's kind of a somber way to end the video, but nonetheless, hope you guys go out and make dreams come true. Yeah, make them come true, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.